Y'all, I am completely overwhelmed with my stack of books that I have next to me that I want to talk about today. I don't know how this video is going to go down because I'm like, this is so much. Hello friends, happy Friday. So very excited that you're here. I'm going to be talking about everything that I read in the month of March. I met my personal goal that I share with Patreon and channel members, I think at the beginning of March, saying that I wanted to read 30 volumes of 30 manga or just whatever I had to hopefully catch up on my backlog because I felt like I didn't really read much in February and I've just sort of been behind ever since. And I met that goal that I know of. If I'm counting right, I have read roughly 32 volumes of different things. A little bit of webcomics, a little bit of manhwa, a little bit of manga. It was a really great month of reading. I don't want this video to be overwhelmingly long because we could be here for several hours just talking about everything that I loved and gushing about it. I'm going to try and condense my thoughts to the best of my ability, so I'm probably not going to share too much about like what that book is about just for the sake of time, honestly, but I really hope that you enjoy hearing me ramble on all of these things. I do feel like when it comes to the digital manga, because I read 3 different things, that is probably going to be where I ramble the most. So let's go ahead and jump right in talking about the digital things that I read. With the first one being Falling in Love with a Traveling Cat. I got a digital e-copy through NetGalley. Shout out to Udon for this one and the next one I'm going to talk about. And I read it with my daughter who loves cats and we deeply enjoyed this. It's very much like an illustration book, and I think the official book listing does even say that it's an illustration book. And I think it's a really fun way for child and adult if you're looking to learn more about Japanese culture. I would also say some cuisine, but really if you just want to see a lot of fun illustrations of cats doing different things and dressed up in the cutest of outfits. Really, really good. My daughter actually wants us to get it physically because she enjoyed it so much, and I can say the same for me too, that I really, really loved it. The next digital thing that I also got from NetGalley was Veil Volume 1. I talked about this in my Top 5 Wednesday video this past week. Deeply, deeply loved it. I'm calling this my favorite read of this month. My expectations were so high. There has been so much hype, and I even do have somewhere on my shelf, I didn't think to pull it off until just now, it was one of the, was it the French edition of Volume 6 that came with an exclusive art book, and I did a flip through. If you want to check out the video, I'll leave it linked here, and it was wonderful. That was like my introduction to Veil. Even though I couldn't read it, just looking at the illustrations was everything, and then being able to officially read Volume 1 in English, even more of everything. It was perfection. I have reread this since the first time that I read it and absolutely just adored it. It is one I would definitely say out of everything I'm featuring today, you definitely need to have this on your watch list, on your pre-order list. Definitely check it out, especially if you are a fan of very beautiful art where storytelling or the plot isn't something very critical or important to you, long as it's very beautiful. It has maybe like an overarching sense of movement forward, because that's very much what Veil is. I shared in that Top 5 Wednesday video that I heard somebody say it's sort of like a story of vignettes. And yes, because you'll have like a few chapters, and then in between those chapters you have single illustrations that are not related to the chapter before or after it. Well, sometimes after it. And I loved it all. It was absolute delight, a gem, met my expectations, and I cannot wait to hold this in my hands. The last digital thing that I read that does not include Glass with a Chance of Delinquent, the latest chapter that dropped last month, because I definitely read that and I loved it. Read it 2-3 times actually. But I decided to try out a webcomic on Webtoons called Chasing Red. I was looking on Amazon one night to see if Webtoons Unscrolled had any new licenses or announcements, listings that they had put up there, and I couldn't remember seeing Chasing Red. Decided to give it a chance at like 10 p.m. at night. Over the course of a few weeks, I binge read as much as I could get with free ads every night, and I really enjoyed the beginning. It's very different than what I typically pick up. It's based off of a novel series, a new adult kind of series. It was originally on Wattpad, and I was really shocked by that. Anyway, going back to the webcomic though, it is about a young woman who recently gets kicked out of her apartment and is homeless, and about a playboy rich guy who is living the dream life. He's an all-star athlete, but his grades are not doing very well. But they end up meeting at a club because Veronica is just, things aren't going well at her job, and she just sort of wanted to escape the night, and basically she got drunk and went to this club, and now she is stuck with the guy whose name is Caleb. They go back to his place. He didn't do anything. He knew she was homeless because she admitted in his car before she threw up all in his car. And so it's their love story of opposites attract coming from very different walks of life. I liked it a lot in the beginning. There's nothing particularly for me that I felt was very groundbreaking. I just couldn't stop reading it. But then when we got into season 2 near the end, I think this is going to be a 3-volume series, and that's why I said I read 32 volumes, because it's 60 chapters. I read the entire thing. The ending was so incredibly rushed. It had a happy ending, but I felt so dissatisfied. And actually last night I stayed up late and I was like, you know what? I wasn't going to try the novel because it says steamy new adult, and I have not been out of the book community long enough to know or to not know what new adult usually represents for the genre. I'm not that naive, okay? But I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. There shouldn't be anything inappropriate when it comes to the Amazon preview, and there wasn't. And I guess if there was, the Amazon preview wouldn't let you like read the pages. I will say after reading that, the novel's definitely better, but I will say the webcomic did a fantastic job of adapting the novel in the sense of making it young adult teen friendly, because there was so much more language in what I read, and it definitely is a lot steamier. I can see why they would say it's a sexy romance. It has some sports elements. That's ultimately actually what drew me to this. I feel like overall that the adaptation was a faithful one, but there's key emotions or elements that are missing in the webcomic that just didn't make it as enjoyable as I think that it could have been. Was it good? Yes. I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know if I'm going to actually physically pick this up, because that's how I came across it on Amazon, mainly just because the ending was so rushed. I love Caleb and Veronica. They were both amazing characters. I really love their chemistry. I really love their romance and how they got together very early on. There was definitely unnecessary drama that happens, but I was okay with that. It was just the ending. There were too many things wrapped up, not addressed, that I'm like, how did we even get here? So I sort of feel like if you want something that's dramatic and very similar to a teenage YA novel, I don't know why I said teenage, but just a YA novel with lots of drama, backstabbing a little bit, partying and everything, then I think you would like the webcomic Chasing Red. If you wanted something that seems to be steamier and very well written, like if the art's great, and that was honestly why I stayed in the beginning for Chasing Red, was the art. Veronica is stunning, but you want something that's steamier or just want really good writing, the novel does seem the better way to go. But they did capture, from what I read of volume 1 and 2, they did capture those main points into the webcomic. It's just they rushed the ending. If they could have had just like 10 more chapters, I think it would have been so much better. And it really hurt to see just how rushed that ending was, because otherwise I honestly would have picked this up physically just because I enjoyed my time when I was reading it. But let's talk about the physicals. The very first thing I read was Victoria of Many Faces, the manga, volume 1. I really enjoyed this. I talked about this in top 5 manga I would love to see adapted into an anime. This has such perfect and beautiful found family vibes. Also, our main girl here, Victoria, that's not her actual name, but that's the name she's going by, is a like ex-spy, and it gives me a little bit of Spy Family vibes. Just we don't have Anya and we don't have all of those abilities, and you're, being an assassin or anything like that. We don't quite have to that extreme, and I mean that in a positive way. It's just more down to earth. Really love the characters, really love seeing these two come together as sort of like a mother and daughter or sisters, and then having our male lead also step in, who is absolutely smitten with Victoria. Definitely was everything. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to getting volume 2. This was an inspired pickup from my friend that I got for my birthday. That is the Margrave's Daughter and the Enemy Prince. What a whirlwind this first volume was. I think she had pitched it to me as, or just in the Discord server a while back, as an unhinged 7th time loop? And yes, that is 100% accurate. Both of them are unhinged, but like in the best of ways, more unhinged than Arnold and, our best girl up in 7th time loop. More unhinged than them. I mean, they have some unhinged tendencies, but these two, it was much overboard. There is a very great sense of danger. I love our female lead. Anna was her name. I really my heart went out to her that she just wanted to be like a knight like her father. And everybody's putting her place saying that she's a woman, needs to act like a woman, like hush, be quiet. Let our girl be our girl. And so this isn't enemies to lovers. There was a very triggering scene concerning when she goes into the enemy's land, not with our guy here, but with somebody else. And so just be forewarned for that. I think I did mention that in my Goodreads review if you're curious, but the art was great. I'm a little nervous about getting volume 2, not because I didn't like this volume. It was gripping and I could not put it down for a single moment. I think I read it in 30 minutes, which is way too fast for me when I typically read manga. But the only reason I'm nervous to get the second volume is because I feel like our leads are going to separate and they're not going to be around each other, and their conversations and banter are really, really fun to read and very interesting. So I would like to see reviews of volume 2 before I get it, in case if they're not together, and seeing how people feel, because they seem like they want one another, but I'm like, well, they have to go do separate things. So a little bummed to find that out, but again, I'm going to stay tuned for reviews of volume 2 and see what people think. Oh, I read Twisted Wonderland, the manga anthology, volume 2. This was wonderful. It's just a thing of like little short stories from a variety of artists about a variety of characters that are in Twisted Wonderland. My favorite one was Deuce and Malleus. That was awesome. The one with Jack near the end, and also the very first story with all of the first years. I did love the star sending event. We had like a few stories that were based off the side, I guess you'd say side events that happen in Twisted Wonderland. So you have like the main story, and then they'll have like this random event that happens. I really was thriving seeing those side events. Like star sending is one of my favorites, and seeing it represented in this collection made my day. I really, really loved it. It was great flipping back through this. Lots of smile. Definitely, if you're a fan of Twisted Wonderland, you will definitely enjoy this. Oh my goodness, volume 9 of the Remarried Empress. I was flipping through this. I was like, I forgot everything. And I feel so bad because this is my second time reading it, so it's not new content per se, but the things that are happening, I forgot to even write that down, y'all. I've been reading the Remarried Empress on Webtoons. It has been so good. I'm like, what is the Emperor doing? Like, get him out. We don't want him. I finally caught up on the Dragon King's Bride. Loving it. Oh my goodness. We are near the end. You can feel it. You can sense it. Having the time of my life reading that one. It's very, very good. I'm really sad that it's ending. And my boss doesn't have a face. I'm finally reading that again. Oh, it was so good. I love Daniel. Like, the way he just is, the way he loves Maya is everything. I am loving that so much, and I'm telling myself to slow down and pace myself. Yeah, I forgot to mention those because I didn't do my reading pages beforehand, and so I forgot to put that down on my list that I wrote, but I am keeping up with my webcomics and catching up with them as well. But yeah, rewinding for the Remarried Empress, all I could say, it's definitely really good. As you can see, things happen, and it was wonderful. Everything we have been hoping for, but things with a side character doing things to Henry. I mean, if you are a physical only reader, I'm so sorry, because that cliffhanger was brutal, and there has been no announcement in Korea or here in the States for when volume 10 is going to release. I had to go back online on like Webtoons and go reread what happened just to give myself peace of mind, because everything was so exciting at this part with Navy and Henry, and then it gets to that and it's like, oh my gosh, like it was awful. It was awful. It was great to see Rashida. Rashida, my heart just goes out to her, and just how the Emperor is he's just horrible. He's just horrible. We know that. I've gushed about before, but it was a very good volume, even though I feel really bad that I don't fully remember everything that I read from earlier that happens. Oh my goodness. Apparently these next two, I was like, hey, I would like some painful reading because I read Queen's Quality volume 21. My stomach was in knots. Can we all agree that Fumi's dad is awful? And I hope that he is taken out by the end of this series. Like, there is no redeeming that man for the horrible things he has done to Fumi and to Fumi's mom. This wraps up the arc that we sort of have been getting of Fumi's mom's backstory and finding out all the things that happened, how her parents got together, what exactly happened to Fumi's mom, and how she is when Fumi first meets her when she's older. Seeing adorable little Fumi because she was so sweet and so precious, and my heart just really, really hurt reading this. It was painful, but it was very good. Sort of just like this next one of reliving my life with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me. Volume 3, I was flipping through it and I was like, oh my goodness, I remember why I cried. I could feel myself like tears forming. Was trying to like flip through everything before I filmed this since I had read so much. Give myself that own recap, and I could feel those tears forming. I said, nope, it is time to put this book down. This volume was really, really good. It had some angst, it had some pain, and I'm just like, oh, please let volume 4 be so much happier. This volume ended on a cliffhanger, but it was a wonderfully delicious cliffhanger in my opinion. It seems like it's setting up for good and happy things, and I really, really, really hope that that is going to be in the case in volume 4. Like, please. And the things with Miguel was wonderful. He's fantastic. I love the side story we had about him, and I just want his happiness. I love our trio. They're so great, and very curious to see what's going to happen next. I am not going to be talking about these three since I did do a first impression on Fall in Love, You False Angels. It takes more than a pretty face to fall in love, and then A Star Brighter Than the Sun. I have a review, first impression I'll leave right here. You can check it out. I enjoyed some of the volumes more than others. That's all I'll say, though I do want to mention when it comes to Fall in Love, You False Angels that was the one I did not love the most out of the three that I read. I did go on K-Manga and I did read ahead like 2-3 chapters. I liked that so much more than I did in this first volume. I felt like some of the concerns that I had when I mentioned, or that I mentioned in that video, my first impression, were addressed. I am on the fence about getting it physically though, so I did see that my library actually had volume 1, so I might just hold off and see if they get volume 2 and then go that route, because I want to know how volume 2 ends now before deciding if I want to get it. But I can also say that when it came to what I read in volume 2, that I am on board for the romance, at least, because I didn't feel that way when reading volume 1, but I did feel that way after I read those few chapters on K-Manga. I probably would have read more, but I was trying to save my points, must say tickets, but no, my points, because I gotta make sure I've got those for the other two, In So Deep It's Love already, and then Course Class with Chance of Delinquent. Like, I have to make sure I always save points for those, so whenever a new chapter drops, I don't have to panic or stress about not being able to read it right away. Oh, for this next one, I read volume 2, My Secretly Hot Husband. I love this volume. It's just getting better and better. So it's just so good. It's so good. I love seeing our leads finally united again, considering things that went down in volume 1. If Erden could just stop mentioning those divorce papers, it would be really good. Our female lead does find out Erden's secret officially, like we did see in volume 1 at the very, very beginning, so it's not a spoiler, like it's in the opening 3 pages, that she knew her husband was hot, but she didn't know, like, at the beginning of the story. We just see that, like, I guess, like, we have a future event, and then it, like, does a flashback, I guess you would say, kind of thing. But now she actually sees, and she's starting to wonder, why is Erden saying that he is a monster? And then why are this creepy person saying if you say anything that Erden's gonna die? Like, there has been lots more of questions being asked, and I'm thriving. I'm loving it. The romance, I was looking for a certain scene and it didn't happen, but I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. I'm eagerly looking forward to volume 3 because I need it. Oh my goodness, with this one, I need the next volume, but I'm also not ready for this series to end, and that is Dark Moon, The Blood Altar, volume 6. Oh my goodness, so intense. Glad our boys overcame, but I do not appreciate how they overcame this huge battle against these enemies, only for them to be like overcome by all these other enemies. And Dardan, he just needs to be taken down. When will these boys get a break? When will they get some legitimate rest where they are not at death's door? Like, please, please. Like, I'm so terrified for them, and I could feel my stomach in knots when I was reading this, because I'm like, dude, like, how are they even alive right now? It is so bleak of what is happening, and I'm like, Dardan needs to be defeated. He needs to be taken out. If you've been waiting for a little bit of romance to happen, you do see it a little bit in this volume, just mainly one specific moment, but I loved it. It was wonderful, and I'm just like, please, please let everybody survive, be okay, make it out alive, except for Dardan. Like, I don't know how they're gonna defeat him though, but from what I think either here or, oh, he looks really bad. Sorry, I was looking at the preview. But yeah, that they're saying Dardan makes one last attempt to finish them off. So I am thinking that volume 7 is the final volume. If you do look at the covers, you can see that there's only one boy that hasn't been featured yet. Like, after him, there's nobody else to feature unless they do like a group cover. So I don't know if they exactly are, but I'm like ready and not ready, because I just need to see this bad guy finally get taken down and everybody just be okay, survive, and have the happiest of endings. Like, if anybody deserves it, it is them through everything they have gone through. Oh, this volume was so cute. And that's Honey Lemon Soda volume 8. Though the adults, can they stop being adults? Like, oh, I was so frustrated with the adults in their life at their school. Like, oh, but I'm really hesitant of what to say. I do feel from what I've seen of people talk about the anime that it ends at the end of this volume. So it may not be too much of a spoiler, but at the same time, I don't want to give spoilers. I will say the art is very cute and the romance was beautiful. Yuka is so amazing. I really love her courage. We definitely see her take those steps to be very courageous and use her words. And Kai, he's just He was so cute. He had some really cute moments, and I feel like this is a really good volume to see that Kai genuinely does like Uka, that he really does have feelings for her. He may not be as vocal the same way Uka is and showing it through her cute faces or through her actions, through his actions, excuse me, but it is there. We see it. It is confirmed in this volume, and I loved it. I'm so excited for the next one. I really wish the series would release like 10 times faster. I think, I don't know, I can't remember. Volume 9 does have a release date. It is up for pre-order, but I'm like, please, I think it's like a few months out, and I'm like, can it just like be next month? Like, that would be great. That would be great. Or even, it's not this month, but even if it was just this month, because I have loved it. I'm pretty sure there was a new girl, yes, that we meet, and I'm like, please, don't even touch the ship. And like Kai's best friend, like, buddy, what you doing? What you doing? Like, don't be starting nothing. Leave our couple to just be a sweet, adorable couple like they were in this volume. Oh my goodness, for worthy sequels, that title or reward goes to Always a Catch Volume 2. Oh my goodness, I do have a first impression of Volume 1. It was amazing. Volume 2, I didn't think could be even better, even funnier, even with more romance. I loved it. Her family is a hoot. I had a blast. The art is great. The storyline is great. Everything was 100% perfection. Had a blast. I was like flipping through this before filming, and if my heart was feeling emotional from reliving my life with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me, it felt revived with Always a Catch and all of the cute little moments. I'm really excited for Volume 3. This series has been a blast and continues to be. I will continue to have very high expectations with the more volumes that release because I'm just having such a great and happy time when reading this. It's so very wonderful, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. Oh my goodness, this next one, Volume 5, In the Name of the Mermaid Princess. This series continues to be deeply touching. I really love the world building that took place in this. We have continued to travel to new places with Mio and the gang for almost every volume, I think, or every single volume. Though the world building here and the place that Mio goes to, I absolutely loved. It was beautiful, ethereal, peaceful, and I really feel like that was like the break that Mio and the gang needed. Though I didn't appreciate that they got the break. Things have been said and things look really bleak now, like when it comes to relationships. I do not appreciate that. Though we got some backstory concerning Yuri. I don't fully get everything, like his choices. I can say that. I love the volume, but I did not agree or even understand everything of why he did what he did. But I'm like, please, things better be okay in the next volume because I don't know what's gonna happen. And I'm like, I feel like this series will end on a happy note. But I'm like, when it comes to the romance, I'm like, will that end on a happy note? And that's a question I genuinely don't know. For a series that looks very cute and very fun, which it does have those elements, this series does address some very deep topics and they're handled very well. Like, I never thought, a very minor spoiler, that Mio would hit rock bottom. And I mean that figuratively and concerning her mental health. Like, I never imagined that at all. And how that scene was portrayed, I thought was very powerful, very heartbreaking, but also very gentle. It was just very well written, and I just was very impressed by that because I never expected this series to even go that route at all. So things were okay by the end, but are they really okay? Are they really okay? I don't know. And I just have to say, I love this guy right here. He is becoming best boy in this series. I will lastly say there better not be a love triangle that's forming, not with our guy here, but with somebody else, because I'm not a fan of it. Like, please, nope, don't go that route. Don't go that route. But I don't know what's gonna happen, but I will definitely be seated to see what happens next. Oh my goodness, I apparently wanted some more pain and some more angst, and that is Volume 2, The Person I Love Asked Me to Die, My Sister Steed. We get so much more of Lloyd's backstory, and these two, Lloyd and Wisteria, are hurting people. It was really surprising to see, considering what we know about Wisteria and everything that she did, and then expecting, even as a reader, that Lloyd would have such a better life and a happier life. It was very shocking that that was not necessarily the case, and I never would have thought that that would be the outcome of everything that happened. And so my heart really broke for him. Never expected that since I was not a fan of him of Volume 1. I feel like the seeds have been planted for some romance to happen. Like, I can actually realistically see it unfolding. I don't know how I feel about it because I'm like, you were still a really cocky jerk. I'm Team Sword. I really love the sword a lot in this series, and so I don't know what's going to happen concerning that, but Wisteria continues to be very amazing, and honestly, I just hope that these two find healing, maybe not necessarily in each other, other, but I do hope that they feel like their life has so much more maybe meaning or purpose, and that just their memories would not be tainted with so much pain or heartbreak or sadness, because I feel like both of them just really don't have any happy memories that don't make them personally sad, and I would love to see that change for both of them, even if I'm still a little bit uncertain about the romance and where it's going to go and what's going to happen. Even though that was the briefest of swoony moments, I will give it that. Beautiful art, beautiful storytelling, definitely getting the third volume. This series is always so funny, and this volume specifically wasn't a letdown, and that's Tearmoon Empire Volume 6. I loved Mia in this. We see Mia interact with this guy here, Dion. He is the person behind her execution, but I have to show you. Look how funny he looks. Look at him with the peace sign up here. I love it. I love it so much. It's so funny. But Mia had some hilarious expressions. Shout out to the artist for just making, again, hilarious expressions for Mia. I was laughing so much, though I really love Dion and how he was very different than any of the other characters we've met thus far, where he's not easily coming over to Mia's side and putting on those glasses that make him misunderstand the real intent behind Mia's actions. Granted, it gets there, but I don't know, I found him, like, especially in the like bonus story they offer, he has a very interesting line of thinking that's different, because like we have, oh, I can't remember his name, but he is like her secretary, her aide, and he is very smart, philosophical. Trying to think of another word to describe him, but I feel like he's just very, very intelligent, uses a lot of his knowledge to help him make decisions about Mia and everything with that, I guess you would say. And then you meet some of these other characters who see Mia as a very helpful person or as an angel, while Dion's like, I don't care if you're a kid or not, like, I don't like you. And he may not say that, but internally he's thinking that. So from that kind of perspective, it was refreshing. Not that it's ever been boring, but I thought I wouldn't like him, but I honestly really liked him, and I hope we're seeing more of him. Based off how the volume ended, we definitely should, but I'm like, hopefully it's not like once in a blue moon that we see him, because he's great, and seeing Mia afraid, make those expressions, I'm here for that any kind of day. For this next one, Your Forma Volume 2, I don't know how much to say. I actually sent my friend a bunch of voice messages about this because I received this in a giveaway from Tweak at Beneath the Tangles. I was so excited. This is the manga. It was wonderful, so intense, just as good as Volume 1. There is no good stopping place. I started this, I had to go to a parent-teacher conference meeting one morning, and I was like, I'm just gonna read a chapter. Y'all, I did not want to stop at that one chapter. It was intense. There are things being asked. We're seeing our main girl's backstory, which was heartbreaking, and I was just like, oh my goodness. There's so many more things unfolding, and I really like this question that's being asked, that even though Harold is like a android of sorts, I don't think android's the right word. I don't want to call him a robot either though, but this question that's being asked of like, are their emotions just as real as human, even though they have this technology and basically are a machine? Like, what makes their emotions different than a human's? Our girl's struggling with that, and even I was like, I don't know. I love Harold because he's so great. They make such a great duo, and I'm really excited to read the light novels that were gifted to me from Being Queenie. And I know that the anime, actually probably as of this video going live, that the anime has already aired. I have not seen the second trailer. I told myself that I probably would not watch it, not from lack of not wanting to watch it, like lack of desire, mainly because I know, per my history, if I watch it, I'm not going to read those light novels, and I want to read the light novels even though I want to see the anime. But I just know me, anytime I've watched any kind of anime, I never read the manga or whatever I have for at least a year, and I said, no, we can't do this. So I've been not watching like any of the, I looked at Steele's, I looked at the song, the opening song, which was great, but the actual like trailers beside the first one, I haven't seen, to keep myself a little bit as spoiler free as possible, because I am really loving this series. It's really good. If you're looking for something that has some sci-fi, science fiction that's not overwhelming with some mystery detective stuff, this is really, really good. I would highly recommend it. I thought it'd be too big brained for me. No, I am not having that problem, and I'm one of those people that, like, when reading a mystery, can never find out who the bad guy is, okay? Just to put that out there, like, I'm always wrong, and and this series has been a delight. I've never felt confused at any point. Very, very good, and continue to love it. Bummed to know that volume 3 will be the last for the manga, though the light novels go a lot further. I have a feeling I'm definitely going to be wanting to get a lot more of the light novels. Next up was volume 7 of Villains Are Destined to Die, and I went from having the time of my life to, oh my goodness, I am forgetting to breathe. I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. That ending was just absolute pain. It was just pain. I don't even know of any other way to describe it except for the twist and the betrayal that happened and the backstabbing was on a whole other level that I haven't quite seen since all the mess with Derek back at court several volumes ago, and the betrayal that he showed. And I feel like this one hit and hurt differently purely because of the beautiful panels we had of Callisto. There were so many smiles he gave us, that he gave Penelope, that my heart felt so light and I was thriving. I was loving it, even though he said something stupid and I was really mad. And I was like, throw all of the men out. I was like, I know you don't mean that, Laura. I was like, you're just upset. Because I'm like, out of anybody, don't toss out Callisto. But this sets up the things that are about to happen, the spoilers I've seen, and my heart is not ready. When I was rereading this before filming this video, my heart was breaking all over again. Penelope deserves the world. She deserves the world, and the thing that happened, I hate how Derek's like, you shouldn't act like a child. Like, shut up. Oh, it angers me. Like, do you know the pain she is going through right now because of another character? And then you see the preview of said character. I'm just like, Lord, help me. I saw the spoilers. I knew bad things were coming, but for this thing to happen, and then even for Reynolds to say and do something, though I have my doubts or question, I think it's more of my doubts that it wasn't really him, that it was something else compelling him to say what he did. But Penelope, she's getting at rock bottom. She's getting at rock bottom, and I need her to not be there. In fact, I need Callisto to leave this palace and come get our girl. I don't care if the things that happen, just please come help her. This was a really good and hard volume all at the same time. Never expected to have such an up and down, like huge up and then huge down. Like, whew, it was very painful. Very, very good though. Amazing. Penelope slayed all the time. Just my heart's breaking, that her heart is breaking, and I need happiness to come her way. I need happiness to come her way, but I think that happiness is going to be out of reach a little further, and I'm going to have to really brace my heart for the next volume because I just might cry on her behalf. Thankfully, though, I went to something a little bit lighter that did not require my emotions to be so up and down, and that's Kaiju number 8, volume 12. Hoshina! Hoshina! He was thriving. He was awesome. Yeah, he was thriving. I loved everything with Hoshina. He got the focus, and I was having the time of my life. Also, the captain, oh, that was good really too. I was like, she has time to shine. I love that because I feel like this creator does an excellent, wonderful job of not bringing in fan service when it comes to the ladies, and he just does them ladies justice. I'm like, thank you. Let's go. Like, I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So lots of action that happened in this, but really, Hoshina stole the spotlight. I'm excited to see though that Kafka, he looks like he's about to have his time to shine, but that ending, no, we do not want that ending. I don't like that Kafka is about to have his moment because of what is going down. Like, no. Bad things better not happen. I'm gonna be really upset if bad things happen. Like, do not let bad things happen. Do not let them happen, okay? That's as vague as I can keep it, but no, it's really good. Continues to be amazing. Forgot to breathe as always, but I had a lot of fun as well. It was really, really good. Continue to love the series a lot. This volume, let me tell you. So I struggled between Veil Volume 1 and Gazing at the Star Next Door Volume 5. This volume was perfection from start to finish. I have reread it 3 or 4 times. It was amazing. All of the heartbreak and the angst and the pain that was in Volume 4, it was like it dissipated in Volume 5, and I was having so much fun. There's so many beautiful moments and pages. It was everything. I was like, this is peak shoujo, y'all. This was peak. It was so very good. I don't really want to say too much. Just know that your heart will be revived in Volume 5. I saw somebody say they didn't like that because it didn't have as much angst, but I was very thankful it did not have much angst. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. amazing. I'm excited to see where things are gonna go. I will definitely be rereading this volume again just because of the happiness that it brought me. That was where I struggled with Veil. Like, both of these outdid my expectations, but ultimately I'm with Veil just because, man, it hit in a different kind of way. But let me tell you, when it comes to best shoujo that I read, oh yeah, volume 5, Gaze and Star Next Door. This series continues to be amazing. I love it so much. Let me see if I can show you this wonderful smile. Look at this. Look at this panel. You can't help but look at this and be happy. Oh, I love it. I actually have it saved on my phone, and just so I could randomly look at it and just feel my day get brighter, because it was perfect. I loved it so very much. Highly, highly recommend checking out this series. I hope things will just continue to be on the up and up and nothing bad happens, because no, I don't need my heart to go down like it did with Villains Dressed to Die. We're really high and then we go really low. No, let's just keep it really high, please. Please. Very good. Can't wait for the next volume. For Worthy, another worthy sequel, In Another World, My Sister Stole My Name, Volume 2. Yes, I know I have said in that video of top 24 debuts from Yen Press that I was here for the love triangle, but I gotta tell you, I love Cecil. He's great. But I am on board. I am on that Noah hype train, y'all. I am on that Noah hype train. Oh man, the feelings, they be feeling. And I was like, okay, I see you, buddy. And I was loving it. I was loving it. This is another one I read twice because I was just thriving. I had a great time. Really loved seeing where things are going. Ain't really happy about that, sister, but that cliffhanger. Volume 3 better come out ASAP. I really loved how this one had some action and we're seeing our girl do some really cool things. I feel very unsure with Cecil looking like he got feelings for our girl. It's complicated. It is complicated. But like, sorry, I said it's complicated and I answered myself. But yes, it is complicated. But I'm really liking Noah. We're seeing some things. And I said, this is cute. I'm on board. I'm sated. And I'm a little bit afraid though with how this volume ended of what it exactly is entail for volume 3. Also, the opening chapter of this, seeing who looks like to be the mastermind, I said, oh, like, I was not expecting that. So I'm hoping we get more answers to these questions I have about who is pulling the strings here, because I'm a little bit worried. I feel like after a month, am coming back to my Haikyu reread, Volume 3. Love this volume. It is one of my favorite in the series. I got emotional reading it. I loved it so very much. I took so many pictures of Hinata, seeing him thrive, and honestly, it's been really cool coming back and knowing a lot of Kageyama fans and seeing how my perspective of Kageyama has changed, especially in this volume, and seeing he's not the jerk I thought him to be in Volume 2. Sorry guys, sorry Kageyama fans. I was definitely like, you hated on my best boy Hinata. I'm like, no, and it took like the entire series before I started finally warming up to him, and even then it was like, I don't know. But I really see how Kageyama has changed. He's taking other people's hearts, like, or other people's words to heart, like Suga and Daichi, how he's taking them to heart and he's changing his own actions. I really love that. And then of course everything with the third years was so emotional, and then we got Coach up in there and I was really excited to see him because I absolutely adore Coach. He's amazing. So very good volume as always. This is like my 4th time rereading this volume specifically, which was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Goodreads, thanks for telling me. Very excited to continue and be back to rereading Haikyu and being with my faves again. I don't know what to say about this, but Mr. Villain's Day Off Volume 6. It is so amazing. It's wonderful. Lots of cute moments. I don't really know what I could talk about it because it's just like, you gotta read it. Just know it's really cute. I think my favorite chapter though was when the Evil League was all together and they're trying to determine what the bicycle purpose is and what you do with it. That was funny. Though I always impressed of how, like, of course, of how like the creator brings all these characters that we've seen in the past. Like we see the Sakura tree and the bench. That chapter was really emotional and very heartfelt, and I really love that. So they came back, and then of course we have like the Rangers, and I really love the ending. Like it was the last chapter. Those found family vibes are so beautiful and so moving, and so I'm always surprised of how like I'm laughing in the beginning of this, and then by the end I feel like my heart's just really touched with the feels. It's really great storytelling and has pandas and lots of fun. Though this time he meets a dog, Mr. Villain does, and it was cute. I loved it. It was great. Definitely gave me a serotonin boost and would highly recommend it. I thought this would be my final like read of March, but it was not. I have 2 other things after this, but My Love Story in College Volume 14. This was great. I was really unsure honestly of the first or like the opening chapter because I'm like, they're in college, but I'm like, why are we talking about when they're kids? And it wasn't bad, but I'm like, this is nice, but this isn't what I came for. So when it got to the actual mystery part where they are in university, I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. This is definitely not a continuation, I feel like, of the main series. More of like, hey, you've missed these characters, here they are in university, and here they are on a random trip, have fun with these characters. That is what it felt like to me, rather than like a continuation like I first originally assumed. I really thought it was just gonna be our trio, being their trio selves and doing everyday things at college, but it was not quite like that. I mean, I knew it said about like the murder mystery thing, but I think I did expect like, okay, this continues right where volume 13 ended, when that's not necessarily the case. I mean, when it comes to schooling, yes, but the story itself, no. Hopefully that makes sense. But I will say, all the panels, all the large panels of Sunakawa, I was having the best time, y'all. I was like, Suna! Like, Suna! I was like, oh, he looks so great. Takio looked really, really cool here, by the way, but Suna! I love his character so much. He's so great. I was so excited to see him. So I really enjoyed it. I was happy to be back with these characters, just having a fun time and seeing them be them cute selves. I loved our trio. I've missed them, and it definitely made me want to reread the main series and just see them again, but from like the beginning of their story. This is a manga that I was actually reading with my kiddo throughout the month, and that is Minecraft, the manga. My friend sent me this, and oh my goodness, me and my daughter really, really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a kid family-friendly manga that has Minecraft at the focus, because it's about Nico here who gets this power and he decides to go be an adventurer like his dad and ends up meeting Gray, who is a very fun character. I think he's my daughter's favorite. My favorite was a character that pops up in the last chapter. It has been just such a blast, and I enjoyed reading it out loud and showing her all. Oh, I can't show that page. I was gonna show a page of them, but it was a spoiler. But it was surprisingly heartfelt. I thought it was just gonna be sort of this cheesy manga, and yes, there's some cheesy moments, but it does pull at your heartstrings, and I was not expecting that. Me and my daughter are really excited to read the next volume. My boys are too. Like, they enjoyed listening to me read it. They don't like reading manga just because you have to read it backwards, unfortunately, but they seem to enjoy it too. They have positive things to say as well, so can't wait to read the next one. And last but not least, I was able to squeeze this in last night, and it was like the perfect way to end the month, and that is volume 6 of The Fiancé Chosen by the Ring. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, I gave this volume 4 stars. It had the fluff. The fluff, that's what I wanted to see, and that's what I got. But it was surprisingly really action-filled leading up to the last chapter. The last chapter was by far my favorite. And the reason I give it 4 stars is because things are happening with Aurora. They're trying, and we see in the previous volume that they're trying to figure out who this bad figure mage is and what they're trying to do. They have some guesses. Something happens to Aurora, which I feel bad for the mage. They messed up on that. And so they tell Aurora, like, hey, we are doing this. We want to talk to you. We want you to be our spiritual leader. And she's like, what? Excuse me? When they're explaining everything, I will be honest, I didn't get their reasonings. I did not get that part at all. I was like, I get what you're saying, but I'm not connecting the dots. So that affected my enjoyment in that regard. So I had to give it 4 stars. But the final chapter, or the last chapter, perfect in every single way. I read that thing twice last night because I was like, this is so cute. I loved it so much. They looked beautiful. They looked fantastic. I'm like, please give me volume 7. Like, I am ready. The romance was so good. And like, those mages did learn never mess with Aurora, because Felix is going to come after you, as, you know, I mean, I wouldn't expect any less of Felix, but he did look pretty scared when he was coming. Like, I was like, wouldn't want to be in their shoes. So definitely a very, very good volume. I'm excited for the next one, and I definitely will be rereading this because I loved it as a whole, or at least that last chapter, y'all. It was really, really good. And as you can see, I read plenty of good things. Sorry I couldn't go more in depth about everything, but I hope that you saw that I read one of your favorites, or maybe I read something you're like, oh, I'm really curious about that. Hopefully it's your cup of tea and seems like it'll be a fun read that's good for you. I would love to know, what did you read last month? What were some of maybe your favorite reads? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!